Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. The building behind me was originally built in 1784. It has a history from child labour to suicide. There are many ghost stories here, from women dressed in black to apparitions disappearing when approached, strange noises and a feeling of complete depression. With all this in mind, I just had to investigate Pleasley Vale Mills. Lying 4 miles north of Mansfield, both of the mills at Pleasley Vale date back to well over 200 years. With the cotton industry booming at the turn of the 19th century, child labour was often used to meet demand. But the harsh conditions did account for many young lives. Despite 2 large fires in the 1840s, the rebuilt mills continued to prosper for over a century until manufacturing finally ceased in 1987. After 7 years of neglect, Mill Number 1 was partly renovated and is now utilised by a variety of businesses.
In those days, of course, in the 1780s and 90s, the village of Pleasley wasn't in fact big enough to supply a workforce. I think there were only 485 people that lived in the village, so they had to get a workforce from somewhere else. And these, of course, came from the workhouses, the poorhouses of London and other parts of industrial England. Children from the age of 7 worked here from 5 in the morning till 7 at night. They even had to sleep by their machines at night. They were very badly treated by some of the overseers, and many children, of course, died here. There are many stories of children's voices being heard, especially in the woods opposite the mill. That's a place for us later on tonight.
Voices have been heard along this first floor corridor when there's no one there. It's also said emotions run high, so much so that people are said to burst into tears for no apparent reason.
One morning we was doing an open weekend. I came to work, I was on my own, the staff were running a little bit late, and I went onto the first floor, that's where our premises is, and I went to the ladies, and as I opened the door, somebody said hello to me 3 times. The voice sounded like a male person's voice, not really old, not really young, but just like an inquisitive hello, as though it was a question to try and get my attention.
Yes, I've had quite a few paranormal experiences here. In the office where I work, I've seen a few lights and shadows, which I can't distinguish what they are. Also, I've had not pleasant experiences going down to the ladies' toilets and on that corridor, really frightening experiences. I've seen lots of orbs and felt lots of unhappy thoughts down there.
The figure of a man has been seen standing in the car park next to the forklift truck. People at night delivering containers speak to him and then complain about how ignorant he is because he never speaks back.
Many men have reported that to the security, but the ghost or the person that's standing there doesn't answer them, and the people that are doing the deliveries think that the person's quite rude, so when they drive out they say to the security they've just been speaking to someone that never answered them back, but the night security man tells them that's happened many times.
Dark ghostly shapes have been seen here in the woods, along with voices, giggling and laughter. So who or what haunts Pleasley Vale Mills? We have 24 hours to find out.
The best place for the Most Haunted group to go to is on the floor that I work, which is the floor 1. Somebody down there is not very happy. I feel it is a male, and now you lot are here. I feel that he is not very happy. He is really quite upset that you're disturbing his peace.
This location is one of the most complex that we have ever visited. So does parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe have any tips for obtaining the best results? This to me is a lot different to some of the locations we've been to, because it's not claustrophobic, it's not small spaces, it's big corridors. How do you think everybody's going to feel tonight?
I think you're right, it's not a typical haunted location. There are certainly some parts that have been recently refurbished, so there's not going to be any sort of psychological effect or suggestion effect at work. However, there are some areas that are derelict and certainly look as though they date back hundreds of years, and that may add to the fear and anxiety and suggestion that's going on this evening.
Is there any particular story or haunting that interests you about this particular place? And is there anything that you're looking forward to for yourself that you're going to do tonight?
I'm quite excited about tonight because there's been a lot of eyewitness reports of full body apparitions and interaction with those full body apparitions. Hopefully we'll catch something on film. Hopefully somebody might even have that interaction.
We've invited spiritualist medium Derek Akora and guest psychic David Wells to join us in Nottinghamshire. Both arrived just prior to filming and with no previous knowledge of our concealed location. Surrounded by woodland and with a few safe places to hide, it was time to investigate Pleasley Vale Mills.
You all right, Derek?
Yeah. I'm just, as we come up into this atmosphere, even though it's outside, what keeps on coming here, I'm very aware of this very, very young child. And also, there's a lady with this child. And I feel with her there's great sadness. And I feel she wants something sorting, she wants something clearing up. She wants, I feel, us to know something, I don't know what that is yet, but I just feel with this lovely lady, a young lady, her energies are still around. So is this babe child.
Is it her child?
It's her baby? It's her baby, her child. And I'm also now getting this mental image of a man that's behind her. And she's not known he was behind her. He's pushed her. He's pushed her over.
Where's he pushed her from? Can you just tell which point?
Just point to the direction.
Yeah,
don't walk near
yeah.
to the edge.
Over that way?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So the man has pushed her off the edge?
He's pushed her off
the top,
edge.
Yeah.
And she wants... Thank you, Sam. Her and her babe child perished. He sprung up on her. As she turned round, there he was. And he's pushed her over. And right, a big drop. Poor bless her.
Why would he
She's
do
on
that? Why would he do that?
I feel that his association with this young lady, as if he was doing things that he shouldn't. That's the way they give it to me. He was doing things that he shouldn't have been doing with this young female. And I feel she wanted him to be more responsible. Mm. And he cajoled her to these heights. And at the last moment she heard, she turned and he was there and he pushed. And she went down.
We need you to find out who she was and who the man was that pushed her, Derek.
Yes, I'll ask. I'll
Yeah,
keep on asking.
yeah.
John.
John who?
John who, please? John who? Come on, please. If you give me so much, give me a bit more. Bless. S. Okay, thank you. Can you see if you can get me a bit more, please, Sam? Please, bless. I know got the name, the first name, John, very clearly, and I guess initial S.
Right.
And I feel that must start the surname. That sounds like 17. It looks like 98. I feel like give me a period of time. 17, and it looked like 98.
Most of the alleged paranormal activity centres around mill number 1, and after just a brief spell on its roof, we've already discovered the possible murder of a young woman. But who killed her, and how many more skeletons, for now, lie buried at Pleasley Vale Mills?
Anything moves, not moving it, there's nothing up here. Shit!
After brief time on the mill's roof, Derek has been drawn to the energy of a female who appears to have once been pushed from the building's summit, although we aren't yet able to establish exactly who was responsible for her ending her life so abruptly. We move down to the building's 4th floor, and one room in particular. At first sight, an innocuous empty space, but allegedly full of supernatural activity.
Okay, Karen.
I mean, this room doesn't look so bad as it smells heavily of plaster.
Yeah.
But it looks good, doesn't it?
It does look good, but it's not good.
Why?
Because as we've just entered here now into this atmosphere, Sam just said, give me the name, or name. I've got a first name, then I seem to got a surname. Yeah. He said, Henry Cater. And he walks up and down, and he, you know, I wouldn't be at all surprised whether the sound would be as strong as this. And at speed as well. For, you know, someone walking across this floor. And also, I feel there's an amount of sounds and audibles, all I feel down to this particular man.
What was his connection to this place?
Okay. What was he, Sam? Although it wasn't called that in his day, he was in supervision. That's a supervisor? A supervisor of some description. To do with the... What's it again? It's to do with the mill.
Right.
The mill.
What year was he here, Henry Cater?
Can you give me that, please? Go on. He's just put 1878. Henry Cater was here 1878.
Right.
Is it 1878? He keeps on giving me that. And I feel he would not think kindly. As our team were here now, I feel he could be troublesome. In actual fact, this man, thank you, Sam, this man, Henry Cater, has been, he just doesn't stay in this area. He goes outside, and he's shown himself there. He's shown himself there, yes.
Where? Out on the ground level?
On the ground level. He's got a connection here, but he also leaves this area and goes outside.
Okay.
And I feel it's there that he's shown himself. He's shown himself. It's like as if he stands and he looks, and someone will see him. And it's like as if the person could go up to him and look at the spirit man and think he's physical and speak to him. And he listens. And then he just, off he goes, it fades.
We were all a little worried by Derek's visualization of this troublesome male character, although his feeling of a wandering spirit could relate to the regular apparition of a man seen outside in the yard. Often approached by delivery drivers, he ignores their conversation and literally vanishes into thin air. So far, the mill had only offered us unhappy souls, but we were all hopeful that this sensation would lighten as we moved downstairs.
See, every corridor looks exactly the same to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I just know we're all going to get lost.
Does anyone feel what I'm feeling here now at the moment, since we've entered this atmosphere? You know, it's like an instant feeling of depression. And I certainly don't suffer with depressions. And yet, I feel that's been transported into this ether. Maybe it's stayed here for a long time. Maybe it's within the fabric of the brickwork, I don't know, but I just feel as if, and whilst we're here, I feel as if I'm getting two separate spirit energies. But I feel one is a male and one is a female. And I feel there's reason for them to come in this direction. And I do feel very strongly as if I want to go outside with them also, with these two. But I feel the woman more so than the man is glad that we are here to get something cleared up.
Okay.
Cleared up. She's roaming around not happy with the lies or the association with how they lost their lives.
Okay. I heard as if somebody was walking up there.
You heard footsteps? Or?
No, like movement, like...
That wasn't my foot at all.
No. Yeah. That was weird. It was, you know, like if someone was behind you but further up and you, that was movement. And I know it's very echoey, but to me it just, I can't even describe it. It was just, not a shuffle, but it was just as if someone was, I can't describe it. It was,
somebody was moving?
Someone was moving. Something was there.
Did anybody else hear anything?
No, I didn't hear anything, but I know a couple of witnesses have said that they've heard that's exactly the same thing. It's quite a common incident. Different people have felt the presence of someone, but they don't see anything. They just feel that.
I was certain that I had heard movement around the corner. With all of the crew stood still at this point, the sound of something moving on the concrete floor was audible. Despite this interruption, Derek was still keen to follow the spirits of the two restless souls that he had just sensed. With our cameras switched to night vision, we head outside in the hope of discovering more about this man and woman.
Okay, Derek, are you
Yes.
pointed in any specific area when we come outside
Yes,
here?
just as we're entering now into this area, I just feel an absolute negative frustration that's just coming all around me. And this I'm picking up as we come closer now, as we come up here to this point, and I look out into the water and drawn into that area of water there. And I've got this, the only way I can describe it, I've got this such a sorrowful soul in a lady, a young woman, and also seemingly submerged again, because twice I felt submerged a moment ago. So that links with a male as well. So out there, Ivy, both a female, I feel, a young lady and a man found themselves, their physical body, being submerged in this water. Now, I feel that the lady whose energies is wanting to draw us out even more so than the man, they're not connected like husband and wife or girlfriend, boyfriend, or even brother and sister. I don't even feel that they're from exactly the same time.
But this is the couple that you were talking about, but they're not connected, they just had the same fate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I can very clearly, because Sam's backing it up all the way, he said, the cover-up was this, in its own right, is that maybe, is it the authorities, Sam? The authorities are accepted that these the two losses of both their lives were not due to anything other than suicide. So I feel these so-called suicides of both the female and the male is not so. Their lives were taken from them. They were murdered. They were murdered.
Right.
And there was one, I feel, big cover-up. So basically, these two souls are not at rest.
One of the strangest incidents that is regularly witnessed at Pleasley Vale involves a dog called Joe, who belongs to one of the building's tenants. Whenever the dog enters mill number 1, he manically barks, then chases some form of presence all the way up to the 4th floor. Keen to explore this area of the mill, guest psychic David Wells decides to lead Joe up to the scene of the dog's frenzied behaviour. Kieran, Tom and myself follow them for the first vigil of the night. But how would the dog react on this occasion?
What do you feel in here?
Feels very heavy. I can't sense a male. If I just show you, he's quite agitated, and he's almost doing this. He's doing this, but it's very short. It's not. Although it's this. You know, he's not. It's no more than that.
The dog couldn't be happier, could it?
No. Quite relaxed laying there.
Yeah, he seems happy.
He's staring at the same spot though.
Yeah, he's looking over there.
He's not shifted. His ears are pricked up.
No, there is still this character here. It's a constant backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
It's interesting you say that, because when we had the walk around with Derek, he picked up the same thing, like the striding, backwards and forwards and quite hurried steps, but he almost did the same thing, but in that area. The same thing you were doing, trying to illustrate what was going on.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah. So if you can try and make a link with that person and try and get some more information we can match, that would be good.
Okay, I'm getting a bit more clear audience now. He's doing this as he's walking. He's wringing his hands like this. And it's like he's trying to convince himself he didn't do something. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's like that. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. So I'm trying to ascertain what he did. Okay, what did you do? What did you do? He's pushed somebody towards a machine. He's pushed someone towards the machine and they've gone into the machine. I think he's done it by accident, in a fit of anger, and it just went too far. It's a woman.
Are you sure about the sex of the person that he's pushed?
No, I mean, I just see a shadow. Just see a shadow. But he's pushed someone into a machine.
We were all a little surprised at the apparent composure shown by our canine companion, but also intrigued by David sensing of yet another horrific death. Would any other tragic victims from the mill's past choose to make their presence known?
Can you spell out the first name of your killer? Can you do that for us, or is it too painful for you?
You're on the broadband, so fast, it's frightening.
Liza Minnelli and Lorna Luft talk about their lives, their loves and their mother. A Tale of Two Sisters, Saturday at 8, exclusive to Living TV. Just what every party girl needs. Shoal Party Feet. Invisible gel cushions that help stop the burning pain in the balls of your feet. With Shoal Party Feet, you can party on without the pain.
Pregnancy. It's a beautiful thing, but sometimes it can leave ugly stretch marks. Now, you may be able to help improve them. Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula Massage Cream and Massage Lotion for Stretch Marks contain pure cocoa butter, vitamin E, collagen and elastin. Rich emollients designed to work on stretch marks, so your pregnancy is as beautiful as can be. Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula Massage Cream and Massage Lotion for Stretch Marks.
Worried that your coloured hair has lost its softness and shine? New Dove Hair Silk nourishes your hair deep inside and leaves it as soft and shiny as the day it was coloured. New Dove Hair Silk revives coloured hair.
Someday you'll be able to find the best deals with just one call. With Dell, someday is today. Buy early for Christmas and you get this Dimension desktop with an Intel Celeron processor for just £399. It comes with free double memory. Someday, everything will be as easy as Dell. You won't find Dell in the shops, so call or go online.
W.H. Smith, the biggest and best ballads. 38 all-time classic songs from the world's greatest artists. Only $9.99 when you buy 2 chart CDs and save £5. The biggest and best ballads. Out now.
The Argos Up to Half Price Toy-tastic sale is now on. Plus, get this Namco Plug and Play TV game for $14.99.
Lee on the broadband, so fast it's frightening.
Our Nottinghamshire location boasts several forms of phenomena, and 2 scenes of possible paranormal activity revolve around the entrance to the building. With Richard keen to explore the yard where the lifelike apparition of a man has often fooled passers-by, Derek, Alex and Rachel head into the first floor reception. But would the ghostly image of a lady dressed in black choose to make her presence known?
Is there anyone here at the moment? Yes. What did that sound like to you, Rachel?
It sounded like knocking.
Yes.
Like.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
Gordon Bennett. Going round to the car park first of all, where the ghost of a man's been seen on many occasions. Many occasions. He's so realistic that people actually think he's a real person. You speak to him, and the ignorant devil never speaks back.
So that definitely sounded like banging. Did it
Yes.
to you, Alex, as well?
Yeah, definitely.
There's definite knocking noises. I just got an orb.
Anyone here? Don't think so. Let's take it.
Although Richard encountered no activity whilst outside, his camera did suddenly switch off. A later inspection revealed no technical problems with the equipment, and it remained in use during the rest of the investigation. Dense woodland surrounds the vast majority of the mills, where rumours abound of buried bodies and mysterious voices. Although a little hesitant, a small group of us headed across the adjacent river and into unknown territory. Some of us were more prepared than others for the adventure that lay ahead.
You seriously want me to go in there?
Yeah, come on, we're going in.
I can hear noises there.
What?
Listen.
I can't hear it.
There's people there. Can you hear that?
Hello?
I thought I could hear voices. Could you hear
Yeah, murmuring, like a man's murmuring.
that? Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Oh my God, where the hell is this going? Whose idea was this?
Yours.
You see, I definitely did hear like a man's murmuring.
Yeah, I did. It's like a voice talking. Someone was talking. I know there's water there, but it was different. The pitch was different.
Did you hear anything, Tom?
I can't say that. I mean, when I'm putting my microphone around, all I can hear is just water.
difficult one, isn't it?
I don't really get anything.
What?
It's very odd. What did you hear?
Sounds like a
Oh, don't.
coming from over there.
From which direction?
It's not duck.
That direction to your right.
Fucking hell.
What's that?
There's movement.
Yeah, there was. I
Fucking
felt
movement. Over there, that way.
Really?
Yeah, definite movement.
Where are you pointing? Do it
Over
again.
that way, there. Through there. There was. Hello?
Don't do that.
Hello? Is there anybody here? It sounded to me like someone was walking, you know, like rustling over there.
Oh, there it is again. Yeah, I heard it.
Did you hear it?
I definitely heard it. I definitely heard it.
Where are you?
Just
Over
there.
there.
Yeah, it's over there.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, oh, it's only a dog.
Bloody weird
What?
dog.
What's that?
It's a very strange sound.
That's not a dog.
It's like someone hitting something metal, isn't it?
There is speculation, isn't there, about registered deaths within the mills, but also there's a possibility that a lot of unregistered deaths, especially with mill number 2, because there are a lot of children who worked there hundreds of years ago, and of course there would have been deaths either through maltreatment or that sort of thing, and there's a lot of speculation about where those bodies would have been buried. And one theory is that they're buried in these woods.
What?
Basically, like that side of Kieran, the left side of Kieran.
The left side?
What did you hear?
What, towards the pond?
No, towards like where we've come from.
All right.
What was
That
that?
was me, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me.
What do you mean? What do you hear?
I don't know, I just keep feeling like there's someone there.
By now, we had all acclimatized to our vast surroundings, so once back indoors, it was time to try a new experiment. Kieran felt that preparing a Ouija board may help to increase the levels of activity within the mill.
Don't think of this as the same sort of phenomena as table tipping. Frequently when you're doing table tipping, your fingers are very light, and if it starts to move, you take your fingers off to try and show that you're not moving it. With the glass that we have here, which we're basically replacing what would be a planchette, you have your finger on the top of the glass and make sure it's in contact. Don't have it so light that it loses contact. If it starts to move around, make sure that you're maintaining contact with the glass. Is that clear?
Yeah.
This alternative method of communication has existed for over a century, but it is often felt to rely too heavily on auto-suggestion. With this in mind, we begin with everyone's eyes focused on the board.
At this moment in time, is there a spirit person with us in this room?
Is that it's lifting it up and down on
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's coming
Yeah,
back,
maybe
it's
it's just
taking it
lifting
away
up
and
and
coming
down.
back. It's amazing.
Do you want to find out a name?
Can you give us your first letter to your first name, please? Go.
Keep contact with the glass.
Spin it around.
Jane.
Thank you. Can you give us your second letter to your first name, please.
The response from this experiment had produced a lot of detailed information. Apparently, a 53-year-old with the first name of John was murdered at the mill in 1847 by someone represented by the letter S.
Can you spell out the first name of your killer? Can you do that for us, or is it too painful for you?
Although initially pleased, we were all very aware of the suggestion that may have contributed to this feedback. Therefore, we immediately attempted a controlled experiment. As Kieran asked questions, it was imperative that everyone else should look away from the board at all times.
Saying goodbye now, that's not what we want. Are you still here? How old are you? What is your name? Is that your first name? Name, W-U-W-O-P. Is that your first name? There was no answer. What is your second name initial? And the answer was U-W. And then when I asked for a clue to their connection here, the answer was U-Q-U.
But his name was Woo-Wop.
Right, okay. Well, that was a load of old gibberish then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, but it kind of illustrates a point, whether that's because of normal explanation or because of paranormal. For it to work, there has to be the group around the table, looking at the table, looking at the Ouija board.
Did it work much better?
There has to be.
Tragedy and murder remain prevalent in Nottinghamshire. But what other chilling mysteries had we yet to encounter at Pleasley Vale Mills?
Please be kind. Please be unselfish.
The paranormal activity at Pleasley Vale appears to centre on two specific areas. After a trial experiment with a Ouija board on the 4th floor, Richard, Carl, John and Stuart moved downstairs to the other supposedly spiritually active area, the 1st floor. Visitors often report feeling upset here, and this corridor is where I had heard a mysterious movement earlier in the day.
Is there anyone here with us? Anyone at all? Is there any spirit entity that walks these old passageways? Make a noise. Just do something, anything. When you were talking then, something actually got my attention downstairs.
Did you hear something moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I heard something like a brick or something on a wooden floor being dragged.
What,
Yeah.
down there?
Yeah.
Any children here with us now? Anyone that doesn't know they're there? That still lingers around these corridors? If so, please give us some form of sign.
Something's just across the screen.
Once again, we were witnessing light anomalies that appear to be in direct response to our appeals for activity. At the end of this corridor are the ladies' toilets, another room where occupants have heard a man's voice in an otherwise empty environment. So how would this alleged spirit respond with 4 men in the room?
Please say something to us, whoever you are. Are you here with us in this room? Please say hello to us.
Unbeknown to Carl, John's camera actually had detected a variety of light anomalies. And again, all of them apparently appearing in time to appeals for activity. Still intrigued by the corridor they had just left, Carl decides to leave Richard, John and Stuart in the ladies' toilets so that he can conduct a lone vigil. Would this eerie environment hold any further clues at the second time of asking?
It's funny, this is very funny. There's something about this place, it's not me, it really is kind of spooky. But there's I don't know, there is an eeriness here, there's a feeling of unfinished business. I just need proof. If you're a little boy or girl that used to work here that died, you haven't died in vain. Let people see you. Ooh. Anything moves. Oh, I can't move anything. There's nothing up here. Shit. What? I was just sort of moving I thought I heard a little sort of noise down there, but don't think anything.
Following up on the mysterious noise that Carl had just heard, we decided to stay in this corridor for our final experiment of the night, table tipping. With Kieran and David closely observing, Carl, Kath, Stuart and I gathered together in a smaller group than we previously attempted. And after the earlier calmness, this investigation was about to finally witness what we had all been promised.
If you're there, please try to move this table. Is it my fingers or is it vibrating slightly?
Oh yeah, I can feel it.
I was just about to say something and it's not. Please try to vibrate the table more if that is you that's doing so.
Just a few minutes into the séance, Carl surprises us all by suggesting two names that had, for some reason, just appeared in the back of his mind.
Nothing seems to be happening now, does it?
It's probably completely stupid and I've got no reason for it, but for some reason every time you were speaking those two names were coming into my mind.
What name?
Elizabeth Jane Metcalf and Lucy Ann Metcalf.
How weird.
I have no idea why those two names were coming to my mind.
Try it then. Come on. Elizabeth Metcalf, Lucy Metcalf, are you both here? Are you both here? Elizabeth, if you can hear my voice, please help us. Please be kind. Please be unselfish. Fuck, who was that?
The hell was that?
Oh, fuck.
That wasn't me. Come on guys, let's get together. Keep going, keep going.
No, that's really
Keep it going, keep it going.
That scared me. Please be unselfish. Fuck, who was that? Please be unselfish. Fuck, who was that? Elizabeth? Elizabeth, if that was you, please do it again. I'm sorry if I was frightened. It was just a shock. I don't mean to. Please use our energy. Come forward. Come forward. It is, it's tipping up. Come forward, please. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. Please, just that extra bit of energy for us. That's fantastic. Could you move the table for an answer of yes? Did you used to work here? Did you used to work here in this mill? You did, thank you. Did you die here in this mill? You did. Are there two of you here now? Are there two of you here now? Are you both here, Elizabeth and Lucy? Are you Elizabeth and Lucy? Are your surnames Metcalfe? Were you killed? Were you killed in this mill? Can Lucy come forward? Could Lucy try and talk to us and move the table?
Whoa! Look if they moved on the floor.
Sorry, Elizabeth. Sorry for doing that.
That might be Lucy because she's younger.
Okay. Hello, Lucy. Is that you? Lucy? Lucy, can you hear my voice, sweetheart? I'm sorry if we jumped. We didn't mean to. We ask for these things, we know, but we just get a little scared sometimes. Talk to us and move the table.
Whoa!
Talk to us and move the table.
Whoa!
After a sedate start, our final experiment of the night had offered us a clearer indication of the levels of paranormal activity that may exist at Pleasley Vale. Curiously, we can find no documented records that link either Elizabeth or Lucy Metcalfe to the mills. Yet these responses suggest that perhaps they did play a part in the building's past. Although no other incidents were detected by our locked-off cameras, these remarkable light anomalies were recorded throughout the night. We had a lot of ground to cover on this investigation, yet it was the inside of the mill that yielded the most significant results, and eventually contact did appear to be made.
And so, the end of another 24-hour interesting experience at Pleasley Vale Mill. Of course, everyone went off and did the usual vigils. People got spooked. Of course they did. They were in dark corridors in an old mill. We had a reasonable amount of success with the glass that was most definitely moving, and as far as we know, none of us were moving it. But there was certainly nothing conclusive from that.
The glass on the table did actually move. Whether it's paranormal or not is another issue. There are a lot of skeptical explanations for a glass moving, a lot of it to do with unconscious movement, muscular movement, involuntary muscular movement, that sort of thing. In the second part, the people around the table looked away, closed their eyes, and still attempted to get messages coming through, answers to questions. It was just gobbledygook. Nothing came through. And for me, that was fascinating, because what it showed is that there is a natural explanation for the glass moving in this particular circumstance.
2 centuries of toil lies within these walls, but for some poor souls this was also the scene of their own untimely demise. Until next time, sleep tight.